Good evening and welcome everyone to Valkyrie Flight. I'm your host, Bazag, your game master and weaver of tales and mystery and basically underhanded everything right now. We have to, for technical reasons, use a different solution, but that's for audio, but that's a temporary. So you will notice that we don't have our lovely avatars displaying on screen, but unfortunately, that's not quite um, possible at this moment. But that will be resolved at a point when we can. So let's start right in. Let's just give a reminder of what happened last time on Valkyrie. So after a initial approval of asylum for the Palace family, the former commander Palace, um, had such circumstances change on him where he was basically being attempted to return back to Romulus for basically failing as a Tal Shiar operative. And the Federation, even despite us going asylum, was at the moment going along with it in the hopes of currying favor with the Romulans to help with the Dominion. Um, but circumstances turned around, and the crew of the Valkyrie, along with the assistance of the ship sent to take possession of Palace, the USS Saskatchewan, managed to effectively fake the commander's death. So the question, the panic, the emergency situation is over, but the still long term ramifications and decisions need to be made for the Palace family and Palace himself. So that's what we're doing in this current mission. Working out what the long term fate of the former commander will be. So I'll hand it over to the crew to figure out how they want to approach this.
Well, as I recall, we're still sticking with the mission of taking Palace to Delphi.
The rest of the Palace family is going to Delphi. Whether or not you want Palace to go with them is another question at this point.
I don't think it's a good idea to break up the family.
We could just say he's the pool boy.
Minus the waddling.
Yeah, we could just give him a disguise.
We could attempt to disguise him as a Vulcan. That's a common tactic by the Tal Shiar, isn't it?
There is very few Romulans or Vulcans, as far as I'm aware of, on Delphi. Palace speaks up, and my presence may, even if it's disguised, could very well get back to the Romulans, the Romulan Star Empire, and the Tal Shiar, and all that would have accomplished would have been for nothing.
Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be Vulcan. Could be Vulcanoid. If we're amenable to a bit of plastic surgery, it could even be something like human, something like that. Bajoran.
We just go the whole 9 yards and make him into a Delphinian.
There ain't enough plastic in the world.
My abilities only go so far.
Palace, as long as you keep a low profile, I suspect the Tal Shiar's interest will be at a minimum. They will not want to risk an incident with the Delphinians, I suspect.
It's also going to be a lot easier to spot a Romulan agent on Delphi.
Well, I owe you, the crew of the Valkyrie, a lot. If you believe that this will be safe, well, I have my misgivings. I will bow. I will accept your solution. Of course, some visual alterations will need to be changed. That is, I think, a given for the situation. I guess I leave my hands in the capable. Leave my fate in the capable hands of the doctor. As he nods to Zja.
And Kalani nods back.
Yeah, we could just pick a list of Alpha Quadrant races that are, engaged in trade, and we could just, you could just pick something.
I suddenly have a very terrifying image of Pellis as a pack lead.
I was thinking Ferengi, but yes, that would be kind of scary.
Perhaps
He'd
something
be tall
that
for a Ferengi.
perhaps something that would allow me more freedom in the way that I would interact. Something Vulcan is doable, but they'll limit their relationship with emotion is something that I would find difficult to.
Emulate for a long period.
Yes, it would not be.
Oh? Go ahead.
It would not be a long-term cover, I fear.
Well, like I said, there is Bajoran. They're all over the Alpha Quadrant right now.
And Bajorans are known for their passion, and I think that would work.
Yeah. Minor alterations too. Just be careful about getting cut.
We could also disguise him as an exiled Cardassian as well. There's a number of them from the civilian government that have been cast out.
Doable, but Cardassians do keep excellent records. Trying to squeeze them into something would be a lot more difficult than being a Bajoran post-occupation.
There would also be the matter of, speaking of documents, identity.
Yeah.
Forming a new one and convincing one enough that, well, I could deal with things, whatever they might be.
Well, like I said, Bajor recently went through an occupation. They're still trying to determine who survived. It's not exactly the best, not exactly a kind solution, but we just had to find someone who kind of looks like you who's deceased and borrow his identity.
Not to mention, it doesn't have to be a long-term solution. It can simply work until, I don't know, the Tal moves on to their next target.
Well, I would. He's going to do a roll as he estimates some stuff. Okay. The one is.
Oh, you rolled as the audience.
Well.
Phone a friend.
That
hey,
is.
Seal, what do you think of this idea?
He considered I'm not sure exactly the exact amount, but approximately 8 to 10 years, I think, would ensure that the Tal Shiar has lost interest and forgotten enough about me that they would even stop considering look that they would, even if they notice something off, that they wouldn't necessarily connect the dots, so to speak.
Oh, it's a bit of skullduggery. That sounds like a pretty good solution.
Just as long as it doesn't get back to the Bajorans, so that a family doesn't have to go through.
I
This yes doesn't go through thinking their dead family member is alive, and also the potential complications that may arise from that.
On the contrary, I believe contacting the Bajoran government to orchestrate this would be our best option.
We don't necessarily have to make it seem anything untoward. We're still able to access the list of Bajoran MIAs, right, from the post-occupation census office.
That would be.
Oh no, I was saying that in character.
Yes, that just out of character. Yes, that would be. Yeah, actually, Aris will pipe up and say yes. We should still be able to have access to that. A lot of those records were added to the Federation's own system, particularly now that negotiations have started with Bajor.
So all we really need is a Bajoran male, kind of looks like Pellis, with a family who was either not around or never had one, and was missing rather than fully confirmed deceased.
That would leave the question of his family for discussion.
Well, I was specifically we find someone whose family isn't around.
Right, but would the family themselves also undergo surgical altercation, or would they remain Romulan?
Pellis's family, yes. Pellis's family, I don't see a reason why they would have to also undergo modification. Unless you think they're going to be watched. When I gesture over to Pellis.
Well, probably, but if they find that they vanished, then that is going to raise more questions as well. If I can appear to be someone unconnected to the family, then
you could potentially be an aide or a servant that was hired on.
Yeah, as long as they don't believe it's me, my family is only a conduit to get to me. They should be fine.
I have an idea for that. You know that junker fighter I built? What if we say that's his ship and we hired him?
How many people can you fit in that thing?
One. That's the whole point. It's his ship, not theirs.
Yeah, but my thinking was in order for Pellis to be around his family long term, they would have to be something like an aide, servant, butler, something like that.
Well, it's just to maintain the cover story for now. You can get rid of it.
There is obviously the concern of security for the family. If I could be seen as
like a bodyguard?
as officer, as a guard for them to ensure that the Star Empire and Tal Shiar do not interfere or meddle with them, maybe that would be a sufficient cover.
It is logical.
A Bajoran, though, would not be the most obvious option.
Well, former militia?
Perhaps, but few of them have made their way past the Bajoran sector as soldiers of fortune.
What about Andorian?
More considerable physical change, but possible.
Not as
not
much
be
as you
able
might
to give him
think.
working antennae.
That would be the antenna. Would be the biggest thing. Pellis pipes up. I have considered many options.
There's also human. I mean, you can find humans in all walks of life.
And who knows how many have been displaced because of the recent Dominion incursion into the demilitarized zone.
Well, and the Maquis.
What's left
There's
of them?
plenty of them.
Yeah. Former Maquis, perhaps?
Palace,
Might make the Cardassians breathe a bit down the back of your necks, though.
Yeah.
oh,
I still believe a Vulcan would be the best option, not only in terms of biological similarity, but not all Vulcans subscribe to the teachings of Surak.
There is a point that a Vulcan suddenly being around the Pellis family could raise some eyebrows.
It would be
especially
too obvious.
Yeah.
one that does not subscribe to the teachings of Surak might be a bit too obvious.
Well, we don't have to decide now. Pellis, you can weigh your options. Well, we can provide you with whatever information you need, and then we can decide on whatever medical treatment might be necessary in due time.
We have days to figure that out right now.
Exactly, because we're just at a standard cruising warp. Thankfully, we don't have to hightail and run like we were planning.
Very
If you
well.
want to consult me regarding your options, my door is always open.
Very well. Right now, I think perhaps a human or a Bajoran would be the best option. However, I do worry about the identity documents for a human. With Bajoran, there is enough wiggle room, but
It's not impossible with a human. There are humans who live outside of the Federation. A little more difficult, but not impossible.
well, either option, if it's if you can convince yourself of that you can get the appropriate documentation, then either option would be fine. It's just a matter of practicality, which one is more suitable.
Yeah. Well, whatever you decide, then. Hell, flip a coin. It works.
Perhaps I should talk with this about to my family first.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
That would be
will.
wise.
I'll see you later, Dr. Jar. Look out for. I will talk to you later. If you will excuse me, gentlemen.
Mhm.
Dr. Hassan. And he nods and stands up and leaves.
I look to the rest of the senior staff in the briefing room and go, "Is anyone getting a little tired of this cloak and dagger shit?"
Constantly.
I'll take it over open war.
Yeah,
There
Sure.
are fewer casualties.
but having to keep secrets from command, the Federation, is just. It's tiring and it's stressful, and not something I signed up for. But needs must, right?
And the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
Yeah. We all holding up to, right? I mean, lots happened in a short amount of time. Then I will take that silence as a yes. All right, so now that we're in the meeting, anybody have anything important to bring up? Since we're all here anyway.
Engineering reports no major issues.
All right.
Ship
I have
oper-
nothing. Sorry, go ahead.
Iris pops up. Ship operations seem to be within expected parameters?
The stellar phenomenon that we managed to gather data on is continually fascinating, and I believe we will be receiving some sort of commendation for what we discovered eventually.
That'd be nice.
It was nice to do something other than fighting for a short while.
Gonna point over to Doran.
For the moment, nothing to report from my end of things.
Dr. Jar,
Yes, Captain.
nothing new?
Nothing new to report other than the occasional scraped knee, bumped elbow.
That's good. And Safan.
Tactical systems remain at optimal efficiency, Captain. Not having needed the glitter bombs for the previous engagement, I feel we may be able to save them for future encounters where non-lethal force may prove useful.
Good thinking. All right, well, it sounds like that we are actually on top of things, and it's a nice feeling. Well, if nothing new, we're going to have to wait to get to Delphi, see what Pelst and his family decide, and just keep on as if things are normal, which for us they kind of are. All right, then, everybody dismissed.
Captain, I do have a question.
All right.
Once we are on Delphi, how are we meant to address you?
Ted's face turns incredibly sour.
Lasan just grins.
Captain will be fine.
Are you certain? I
Yes.
wouldn't want to offend anyone.
Captain is fine.
And if your grandmother objects,
Captain is fine. And preferred. And the only thing any member of the crew of the Valkyrie will address me as. And that's an order.
Aye, aye, Captain.
yes, Captain.
Yes, sir.
Safan just raises an eyebrow.
Crew's a bunch of smartasses. All right, dismissed. Let's get going.
Dr. Jar, a word.
Of course.
As everyone else is clearing out, I wish to check in. Are you well?
Not here. Not now.
As you wish. He leaves.
And she just kind of like worries at her bottom lip and taps on the table. And then she follows him out after a minute.
Alright, so once the meeting is finally fully disbanded, about 30 minutes later, Safan, you get an alert that the Pell's family room has been opened, but there's no reason for that.
I'll I'll have two security officer crewmen meet me down at the quarters. Notify the captain on my way down.
Keep me appraised.
Aye, Captain.
Alright, so you meet up with your security officers. You get down to the door and are just about to press the intercom when your combat chiefs, Pellis to Commander Safan.
Safan here. Go ahead.
Can I speak to you, please? I'm in my quarters. There is a bit of a tension in his voice.
Your timing is fortuitous. As I walk in.
Okay, the Pellis, his wife, and the two daughters are there, but their son, Viruldaith, is not. Captain, in Commander, in family discussions, well, I do not know how to put this, but Viruldaith did not take the discussions very well. Things have been a bit chaotic recently for us, and
That is an understatement.
he has basically stormed out. I do not know where he has gone, but considering how things left, perhaps it would be better if you would just find him and perhaps keep him out of trouble.
I will do what I can. I'll tap my combat. Safan to bridge.
Bridge here, go ahead.
Captain, I request an internal sensor scan for all Romulan life signs. We are missing one.
I'm gonna nod over to Lasan.
Okay, so will be just a difficulty 1 check.
Okay.
Actually, no, this will be a difficulty 0 check because this is going to be easy. It'll give you a chance to build up momentum.
Yay!
So it'll be, let's say, control science and sensors science for the Valkyrie.
Who wants to roll for the ship?
I can do that.
Oh,
Or not.
Journey's got it.
Go
Go ahead, Journey.
Okay.
Do you think
what
this
was
is
it?
for me?
What was it for the ship?
Sensors science.
Sensor science.
Okay, so for momentum from that, you get 4 Romulan life signs in the expected room and 1 in the mess hall.
He seems to have gone for a midnight snack, as it were.
It is not unheard of for members of more emotional species to eat their stress. Thank you, Commander.
Hey, one last thing. Savon,
Captain.
he's a teenager. An emotional teenager from a species that's known for being passionate and open about how they feel.
Indeed,
Just,
Captain.
be careful.
Would you like some assistance?
I do not wish to startle him. However, if you wish to appear in the mess hall a few minutes after I arrive, I think that might be welcome.
Yeah, if you want to head down to the song, go for it.
I will slowly start casually making my way towards the mess hall.
Okay,
I'm going to nod to the crew, to the security detail to dismiss them, and I'm just going to go down alone to the mess hall.
Okay, so Safan, you get to the mess hall first. You see, it's pretty vacant. It's not, the usual time for meals.
Right.
It is pretty obvious that Vuldeth is there sitting on his own. He's got a spoon and he's sort of playing with it, making a sort of de facto catapult out of the out of it. Just finding things to put in and just occupying himself, just sort of, he doesn't really look, sort of looks just focused on that, just trying to do something.
Walk over to the replicator. Computer, grapes.
The grapes
taking-
appear.
Oh, okay. Taking the grapes, I'm going to walk over to his table. If you adjust the spoon 3.4 degrees to your right, it will improve its efficiency by 15%. And I'll proffer the grapes.
He doesn't really look up at you, but he takes one of the grapes, put it on the spoon, and adjusts approximately with how you described, and he pulls back the head of the spoon and lets it go, and makes it actually quite a few distance, about half of the about a table or two length.
I just kind of smirk. May I join you?
He just sort of shrugs. Still otherwise focused on his spoon and little thing that he's doing. If you want to give an insight command roll.
Yeah, I'll do that, actually. What's my difficulty?
This will be. It'll be 1 or 2. I'll roll a dice, see whether it's 1 or 2. So I'll just, roll it 1d2 and see what the answer is. It's a 1.
Okay. Does my observation focus apply?
I will allow this. Yeah.
Okay. Wah, wah.
He does think, okay, so you don't really get a good read on him.
He's happy as a clam. I don't know what's up with this.
But he is quite standoffish right now, and you were unsure how he would react if you were to insert himself more into the situation. I'm using the complications to say, well, you not only do you not read him, but maybe things are gonna get bad if you try and yeah.
Try and help. I'm gonna make my way into the mess hall, I guess, at this point. Look over at the table, give a nod. Make my way over to the replicator. Lemon tea, hot. And then I will pick up my mug and make my way over to a table that's close but not too close to where they are, like kind of giving them an area of privacy and just like making it seem like, oh yes, I here I am casually visiting the mess hall.
What's the young man's name again?
Rule dice. I will type
Roll
it
die?
in. VRULDAITH.
Okay. Roll dice. What do you estimate your odds are of landing a grape inside Commander Cesareth's tea?
He for the first time, he actually looks up at you. There's a brief bit of connection as he then looks over to the to Lausanne.
And I'm making sure that we are quiet enough that they can't hear us. Vulcan and Romulan hearing being what it is,
Okay, so like you see a brief smile creep on his face, but he sort of wants to be. You can tell he sort of wants to be angry, but that does seem to be a bit. Does seem to attract him. So
I'm actually smiling at this moment.
And so he doesn't say anything more, but he adjusts it. He adjusts his spoon, grabs another grape, and I'm going to do 2 rolls. See how well.
Control security? Because I want to assist on the control security roll.
Okay, so this is him sort of like judging, like a distance
excuse
and
me,
everything.
It would be daring because he's being a little shithead.
Okay, so
Baz,
yep.
I'm going to spend a momentum to let him use my collaboration so that he can use my security, as well as any focus that may apply. I don't think hand phasers would apply here, but
let me have a look at your. Oh, that is not the right character, but that is. The observation would have gone into that role because that was more like judging sort of the situation. But this one, I don't think you have focus.
no, I do not have a focus in grape launching.
So this is the actual role for him to actually do it. So he's got your security for this. Okay, and if you want to do a let's give an insight security roll for your assist.
For the assist? Got it.
Okay, so that is 3 successes, and it's a difficulty 2 task. So, Lasan,
I am so sorry.
No, it's fine. I'm here to provide assistance with this.
Out of nowhere, a grape lands in your lemon tea, and just sort of like splashes out, covering the table and getting you a bit.
My antennae will like stick straight up, like kind of like startled a moment, and like I'll like put my head down to like study my tea, and then like slowly turn my head back to the data pad that I was working on, punch in, and just turn and hold up a 9 on the data pad.
So Viruldice just bursts into laughter.
I'm going to make a composure roll just to see if I don't burst out laughing myself. Won't that be control command? Presence command?
Control command, because you're trying to control your mental state.
Okay. I got 1. Is that enough?
I'm going to do an oppose roll.
Okay.
And see how funny it actually is. So, I'm going to say that... Oh, you got it.
Okay.
So you're able to... Like, a small smirk does creep up, but
Yeah.
not enough that you burst out into laughing.
Yeah.
But
given the mind meld with that Safan and Lasan have shared, she knows. It's like they can tell.
Yeah. And I will get up and like kind of make my way over to the table, and look kind of like look between the two of them, and uh, lean down to roll dice, and uh, you know, forks actually work better than spoons. There's more surface area.
No, the Rudolph is just still laughing at this point. He starts to calm down, but you can sort of tell his full demeanor is just completely changed. Well, maybe I will have to get some more practice with this earth cutlery then. Please, sit down. Sorts of sighs exasperatedly as he just sorts of
Yes, if you share the table with us, you will be inside the catapult's minimum range.
But then he has no goal to aim for.
Perhaps we should call the captain to the mess hall.
I think that's too many people.
Perhaps.
I'd be fine if if you did sit at the table.
I'll sit down.
Sorts of, after he sits down, well, this is rather odd situation I've found myself in. I never would have thought anything like this would happen.
You have an aptitude for ranged weaponry.
Well, Dad was always certain that convinced that we would know how to defend ourselves, and defend each other when things would go horribly wrong, as he always expected that sometime they would, but I never thought they would go this badly.
Is that what you're worried about? That you can't take care of people?
First, there was everything went wrong with that stupid place that Dad took us to. Then we're in the belly of the enemy, so to speak, here on the Valkyrie. Even though you're all right. Then now Dad's going to be, not Romulan anymore, and just, and he's still going to be there. So that, I mean, there's at least that, but it's just I don't know what to think about any of this really. It's all a bit too much. I don't know how to explain it.
You have undergone quite a significant ordeal. In fact, numerous ordeals in a short time. Being uprooted from one's home is always traumatic.
Just had friends, I had stability, I had people that I could rely on. Now it's just my sister's mum and whatever Dad's gonna be.
Your father will still be your father regardless of what he looks like.
I know that.
Do you?
Well, in up here he taps, but and I know I know he loves me. Like he sort of like he does is it like he doesn't particularly want to admit that, but it's just
I think he would have an easier time being a Vulcan than he realizes.
like Dad was. He was always working, always off, wherever he was, and finally he comes home. Finally, I get to have time, and all this. It's just all this happens. I just don't know what's going to happen. What's like this new place, new home. I don't even know anything about these Delphinians. Oh, I mean, but the captain's one of them. But I know nothing about them, nothing about their culture, nothing about how, like, I don't even know if, anything is sort of as exasperated as, like, it's just walking into the unknown, and it's
I just
Have
kind
you
of place a hand on his shoulder.
have you talked to your father about this?
mm, it sort of looks sheepish, not in so many words.
I think it would be good for him to hear because, to be honest, he's pretty scared too. But don't tell him I said that.
If I have learned anything from my encounters with Romulans, it is that you are a proud people. And I believe that will help you carry yourself through. The unknown can be frightening, but you are smart and you will learn. You will make new friends. You, your family, and your father are all Romulan, and nothing can take that away from you.
He like looks up at you, and Dad also told me a bit about you.
I just kind of raise an eyebrow at that. Personally, or Vulcans in general?
About about you personally, that there's a bit of family thing.
Indeed.
And he sort of just stands up and goes in for a hug.
I'll embrace him. If you find yourself needing to relieve frustration in the future, I am available to speak with. Additionally, I would be happy to provide you with marksmanship lessons if you find yourself interested.
You just still is still holding on tight and just hugging you, and you hear thank you, just sort of muffled as he's holding him tight, and uh, his mouth is sort of partially inhibited by everything that's but it's clear. You hear it, and and he just sort of hugs just that little bit tighter. And he's like 16 or so, so it's not weak, but it's not.
I mean, he's
not,
still Romulan, so it's still a strong hog.
it's yeah, so it's not as strong as it could be, but it is still developing. But it's still a strong. Well, he lets go, and you can see a bit of wetness in the eye. Not full tears, but there's clearly had a bit of reaction to that emotionally, and I guess I should go back. Hey.
If you'd like, I can let Pellis know you are on your way.
Well, thank you. And he goes into one more hug to you. This time, just a brief, like a brief light hug, and then he also hugs Lasan briefly, and just sort of runs off. Back towards the quarters, just from how the ship layout.
Yeah.
Once he's gone, I'm gonna look to Stefan. Not bad for your first time.
Indeed.
Trust me, it doesn't get any easier dealing with kids.
I will take you at your word on that.
But
Pray that it will be some time before I have to experience this with my own.
it'll be interesting for sure. But he's a good kid. He's just going through quite a bit. I don't even know if I'd be able to handle what he's going through.
Indeed, his entire family has weathered quite the trauma, not only from this uprooting, but as a byproduct of Romulan imperial culture.
Well,
Stefan de Pellis.
Pelosi,
Roldice is
how's this one going?
Roldice is recovered and on his way back to you.
You hear a deep sigh. Oh, thank you. I can't thank you enough. It was difficult.
Indeed. Be patient and compassionate, and you will see your way through this.
There's a bit of a gap. Get a bit of a gap in where there's just silence, and I think you're right. Thank you once again, and Palace out. And the
Commander, would you like a new glass of lemon tea?
no, I'm fine. It was between that or a bowl of soup. I just wanted to give him something to aim for, and I thought that a smaller target would be better.
And I kind of just grasp Lasan on the shoulder and make my way out of the mess hall.
Alright, so the rest of the day goes rather smoothly. Lorin, the crewman Lyons, comes in for his session, and it's making better progress. Things aren't quite, he's still a bit anxious and worried about everything that's happened, but he is making progress.
That's good.
However, the night actually no, I won't do that yet. Ted, you get Ted, you get a message from Starfleet Command for the captain only.
Is it in the night?
It is in the night.
All right, so would we be sleeping?
It would be
Ted sleeps.
about 9-10 o'clock in the evening. I don't know if Ted would sleep or not. I'll leave that up to you.
Yeah, no, he's gonna get up from what he was doing and put on a rope and go take a look at the message.
Okay, so it's not a text message. It's a live chat, like video chat. It clearly states from Starfleet Command, but when you initiate it, you see Keegan.
Surprise, Keegan.
Ted, what am I going to do with you?
What the hell are you doing calling me?
Well,
This is a private wall. Sorry.
Well, I mean, I just wanted to catch up, really. I just wanted to let you know that I really appreciated you talking to the DTI and influencing the DTI to, talk to Section 31 to turn my own organization against me. I just wanted to let you know that I truly appreciated that.
Oh no, Keegan, I didn't have to do jack squat. It was your incompetence that did that.
Oh well, Ted. Well, what did I do to you? Come on.
Ted's expression darkens considerably. What the hell do you want, you son of a bitch?
Well, I just wanted to know that to look out for yourself. I'm going to be repaying the favor, so that's just basically what I want to show. Let you know that I have the ability, and I will finish my task, and I will make you pay for what you have done to me.
Keegan, better men than you have tried. And I turn it off. Ted just grunts, takes off the robe, climbs back into his hot tub, and go, I swear to God, I'm zogging these people up. Freaking, because I'm just...
I know.
Okay, so can I get Mzaka and Safan to do their communications check?
Yeah, I would have alerted Safan that I got a call from Keegan.
So this is the automated program that Mzaka had set up with Safan's help. So if you could
What's
do
the
that.
role?
I think it was, let's say, Reason Engineering, and I think it was Reason Security from Safan.
That sounds
All
right.
right.
Espionage focus?
Yes, I think I did that.
Computers
So,
focus.
Yes, computers focus. I'm going to take a 3 threat to give Keegan 2 extra dice.
Well, fuck him, because I'm taking 3 momentum to give me 2 extra dice.
Oof. It makes me think that, Charo should have done something to piggyback or something to see about whenever these calls come in from Tegan.
And I'm going to spend a determination. Protect the ones you care about with your life.
I will allow that.
Alright.
So,
Holy shit! So, oh god.
6.
So
Yeah.
6 successes. Also, because this is the focus that applied to my Cochrane Medal of Excellence, I get one of the other functions of you spending my determination as well.
okay, so he rolled 5. So you did get a momentum back from that.
Yeah. Hang on. I need to go double check determinations real fast in the core rulebook. So I totally wrecked his day. And so the only other thing I can do is I'm also making an advantage in this scene. So
Yep.
I got something on him.
Okay, so
Like a
first thing,
location? That's
first-
swell.
so the first thing you realize you get a notification from your program. Not only did the communication come in, but there was some hidden things behind it that tried to install something into your computer system. Behind it, the thing detected that and prevented that from happening.
Firewalls, everybody.
Antivirus, yo.
So there is that. What was you do get from that as well, with your advantage that it was coming through Deep Space Nine.
I got his metadata and he said he's on DS9.
He's not on DS9, but it came through a. You can tell
was
that
routed.
it
Okay.
was sort of routed through Deep Space Nine, and I mean he was. You can tell that, but you don't know where exactly he was. He's basically he's sort of somewhere in that Alpha Quadrant area.
So he's in the Bajor sector, is what we know.
He's within 1 or 2 sectors of the Bajor.
Yeah,
Okay.
he could be using a relay, but there's very little delay, so it's possible he's somewhere there.
Right, so that leaves like Bajor, Trill, Beta Z.
I mean, he could
And Delphi.
Yeah, he is. I mean, it's still a lot of area that he could be in, but he is at least somewhere near there.
I just hand that information over to Ted with a big smile on my face.
Finally, some good goddamn news.
He's getting sloppy.
Yeah, we're pissing him off.
I mean, he's not slop. I mean, it was a good attempt, but you're just better.
That's also something to consider. Yeah, but that means he's in the Alpha Quadrant.
Means he's close by.
What are we thinking? Maybe some kind of small cloaked freighter runabout?
All of the above.
Hmm.
I think we can safely rule out he's probably not on Zenketh or Cardassia.
Mm-hmm. And it sounds like Section 31's gunning for him, too.
That means he's going to run out of places to hide eventually.
Yeah,
Badlands?
That also means he's going to be cornered. You know how a corner rat is.
It'll just make it all the more satisfying to crush him.
Ooh, you bet. But that does mean I'm going to have to send some messages out. It should be fun. Unless I didn't know that DTI was able to get in contact with Section 31. Great.
I
Who
mean,
knew? You're more powerful than the secret agent organizations. And I just lift my wine glass and take a drink.
Ding. Click. Click on wine glasses.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm gonna drop the bubbles. But yeah, no, in the morning, obviously I'm gonna send some messages to people I know, mostly Captain Sung Wo on the Amazon, etc.
I'd send a well-worded message to Captain Cisco, basically saying, hey, someone hijacked your communications array to send an unauthorized communication. Keep your eye out for anyone using these protocols.
And Odo has a stroke.
so yeah, you get confirmation.
Because this is about the time when he's like solid.
Yeah,
Not-
it would be.
Odo? No, this is past that.
Well, it would be like just past that, but
Well, about half a year past that. That was like middle of season 5 that got cured. We're almost to season 6 now.
I thought the war started in season 5.
The very
I didn't
last
realize we advanced
episode.
timelines so
Oh, okay. All
We're
right.
almost there because they're in negotiations with Bajor, which is right at the end there.
Right, trying to get the non-aggression pact. Anyway. Oh, and also, in the morning, everyone's going to receive a memo coming from the captain about Royal Delphinian etiquette. It is 375 pages long.
Yeah. So give me a.
God.
Give me a.
Kalani will have it all read.
Yeah, so will Lasan.
So
Stefan will
Ren,
have it memorized.
Ted, first give me a control command roll for that.
Okay. I have anthropology and diplomacy as my focuses. Do those apply?
I'm going to say for this, yes.
I gotta grab a die to see if I can build some momentum. Let's do this. Son of a bitch! 19, 18, 18. I'm
Okay,
re-rolling
so
one. Give me a roll. Give me a roll. 2. Boom.
okay, so that is you get most of it, and you spread it around the ship. Everyone who is trying to memorize it, can you do a reason command?
Recent command. Observation focus here?
I will allow that.
Okay.
Roll 20 the one time I get that die roll, and I'm not making multi-attack.
Composure focus, would that apply?
No. Well, this is it's just more like getting the major points out of it, rather than.
One success.
would cultural studies help with this?
I will
For Ren?
allow that.
And it was command what?
Reason command.
Nope.
Okay, so Lasan, I'm going to send you some information when it becomes relevant, but for now, and
I think we're missing a couple
Safan,
people.
and I will send some to Safan, but like less of that to Safan because he rolled.
Gotcha.
Laura and Lorin,
Did
you.
Kalani roll?
If you want to try and memorize that, you can.
Sarah?
Sarah. Oh no, she might be away.
Sorry, I was on mute.
Yeah, it's alright.
Sorry, I was on mute.
No worries.
So,
I had to.
yeah, so reason command if
Run into the
Kalani wants
bathroom.
to remember the details for later.
Yeah, hold on a second.
Pels would also be given this information. Just in case.
Okay, so he's gonna do the same thing.
Oh, that makes me very sad.
The queen is a smart woman.
Oh,
Nice.
Dr. Zarn nailed it.
Okay, so Dr. Jar and Pellis both memorize this pretty well. I'm gonna just give you a very. I'll give you the details later on, but for now, the next day.
Let him Zaka go?
I was there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I would have to like tell everything.
So
But no, go ahead.
So the next day, with all your communications, you get acknowledgements back. You get the Sungwo tells you.
I would have also I also would have given a bit of a warning, nondescript to the Saskatchewan, just in case.
Okay, the Saskatchewan just sends acknowledged.
Yeah.
You don't really know if they really understood. But
Yeah, nothing directly mentioning Section 31. Just like could be trouble in the Alpha Quadrant. Just be careful.
Yeah. So they they
Meanwhile, in the Saskatchewan, we're facing war with the Dominion. No shit, there could be trouble.
As far as Songwo and the Amazon, you get confirmation that they've received and that they will take extra precaution regarding hostiles. Give me a insight command.
Me?
Yep.
All right. I'm going to take another die because my insight is terrible. Just the worst. Do I have any applicable foci?
I'm gonna say because you know the captain so well, I'm gonna give you a focus, even though you might not actually technically have one.
Okay.
Okay, so that is enough. That is.
Did it just meet? Because if so, I can re-roll that one.
No, you did meet it, but you didn't get the momentum back for it.
I'll re-roll that one. See what I get.
A complication.
Okay.
No. Boom.
So you got a momentum back, and you're able to confirm that just from the way it's worded and phrased, that he knows what you're going on about. That Section 31 is active in the area, and it basically got the gist of it.
Nice.
From what you can tell. As far as Captain Cisco Mzaka, you get. Is he captain at this point? I can't remember.
Yeah, he's been
Yes.
captain for a couple of years.
Okay.
Yeah.
As far as the captain is concerned, he doesn't specifically know anything about Section 31 at this point, because that's season 6 when
Yeah. End of
w-
season 6, so like not even like a year from now.
yeah.
Yeah.
So he doesn't fully understand. From what you can tell, he doesn't really fully understand what's going on, but he has the protocols, and you get that Odo is talking to Chief O'Brien about communication security. As far as the rest of the day goes, that goes pretty smooth. Nothing of any interest happens. Does anyone have a scene they want to do? I am going
I was going to suggest Safan and Jar. Sounded like they were putting
Yeah.
off something.
Leaving that up to Sarah, though.
Hmm?
Well, let's delay that because this next night, Sarah, you have a nightmare. Dr. Jar has actually no. Before the nightmare, Dr. Jar, you get notification that your former colleague, Dr. Vren, has committed suicide. It's a letter from the New Zealand penal colony, and with that information and uh, a note that he has left a video recording for you should you want to watch it.
I basically just dismiss the message. I don't even open the recording.
Okay, so you do however go into go to sleep, and you do have this nightmare. You're awake and you're in the lab in the sick bay, but there's no one around. Not nurses, not any injured crewmen. There's no one around. There's this general sense that something isn't right. But you have no real knowledge of what it is. For this, I'm going to allow you some freedom in how this nightmare plays
Lucidity.
out. Some lucidity in this.
She's just gonna kind of like keep doing her like normal routine, but kind of like looking over her shoulder most of the time, like as she's doing it.
Okay. Like she turns to like examines the computer and does like some records. Like you can't. You're not even really sure what you're typing at this point, but it feels like you're doing reports. Then you turn around and then suddenly the sick bay is just filled with corpses lying on the ground. All have signs of assimilation. And
Kalani just kind of like she like startles and just like backs up into a wall.
they don't seem to react. They're all lifeless. There's none of them. The Borg implants aren't growing. They aren't reacting. They're just dead corpses with maybe a like one has a laser eye. One just has like an eye implant kind of thing. One has an arm replaced. One has something growing on their chest that is peeking through their uniform.
She goes to tap her comm badge.
There's no response. It just does an error, like one of those error beeps.
She just kind of like stumbles to the door, kind of like trying not to trip over any of the corpses. But she just like has one track mind to get out of sickbay.
As the sickbay doors open, you see there standing in front of you Borgified versions of Mzaka, of Ted, of Lasan, of Safan, just standing there. And then in a moment, they fall to the ground, also dead.
She screams.
And this is when you wake up. You're sweating. your heartbeat is pounding. You know the signs. You're a bit stressed right now. Um, as like, but it's in the middle of the night. You're in your bed. It's dark. There is no one around.
But there's a little voice going, Curlin, dear.
The nightmare never ends.
Computer lights.
The lights go on brightly. You are in your room. There's nothing here. Everything seems to be in order. There is no
she just-
alarm, no nothing.
She kind of just sits up cautiously, kind of like peering over the edge of the bed to make sure there's nothing on the floor.
The floor is perfectly clean. There is nothing on the floor.
Except lava. No, wait.
And then she just like, and she gets up and goes over to a med kit that she has and gets a hypo spray.
Okay, just give me a control medicine check, difficulty 1. Okay, you're able to treat yourself for
It's an anti-anxiety medication.
for anxiety, and you the heartbeat slows to a more standard rate. You start to calm down. Everything once again seems to be normal.
She kind of like subconsciously itches at the spot where the assimilation tubules had gotten her in the neck. She doesn't even realize she's doing it.
So you scratch and it's just field scratches. There is nothing grown, nothing has changed there. It's just like normal scratching of the skin.
And she goes over to her nightstand and picks up her comm badge and just kind of looks at it for a moment.
It's a command.
And then she presses it. Dr. Sharsh is the fun.
It's about 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning right now. Stefan, your Vulcaneers pick up the beep.
I pick it up off of the table next to me where I was meditating. Stefan here, go ahead.
Can you come to my quarters?
Right away.
During your meditation, you had a unknown spike of anxiety, Stefan, as you're not sure where it really came from, but
I think now I have a supposition.
Now you have an idea, but when it happened, it was just weird. You didn't know.
Did I pick up anything more than the anxiety? Like, were there images or anything along that line?
I'm gonna say no.
Okay. I tap the chime when I reach the door.
Come in.
And I come in.
And Kalani is she's like in a robe and just like staring out the viewport in her quarters.
Kalani, I felt a spike of anxiety just before I received your communication. Is everything all right?
I'm not sure that it is.
I see.
She starts scratching at her neck again. And she just says, I had a nightmare.
Do you wish to discuss it?
I was in sick bay. And there were corpses. Borg corpses. Freshly assimilated, not fully assimilated. And I tried to leave, but there were more, and then I woke up.
Were they crew members? Strangers?
There were some uniforms, but I don't really recall. Some of them were you and the captain, Hamzaka, Lasan. She starts to scratch harder at her neck.
No, I just take her hand in mine.
Sorry, I didn't realize I was.
And I'm going to examine where she's been scratching.
Give me a how's your medicine?
3.
Yeah, give me an insight medicine then.
Okay. Observation focus?
Observation focus will apply.
All right. 2 successes.
Okay, that's definitely enough. There is, I mean, apart from the irritation of the scratching, there is nothing physically wrong. Just remind me when that happened. When the Borg beamed on, where were you?
Safan was on the bridge.
Bridge, yeah. So you wouldn't have known where exactly the Borg. As far as you're aware, it's just.
She's just been scratching at it.
She's just been scratching at this area for. You don't know why.
Can I? Well, no, I can't really without metagaming it. Kalani, has your neck been bothering you?
No, why?
It seems you have been scratching at it enough to irritate this area. I kind of put my fingers up to it.
Would you like an analgesic cream?
She just like, no, I just, every once in a while I catch myself scratching right there. I just, lately, I don't.
Have you been to see Counselor Loren?
No.
Just kind of raise an eyebrow. Speaking as a crew member and a friend, I think it would benefit you to do so.
Friend. Right. And she just kind of She just kind of like turns away a little bit and just kind of like she kind of starts pacing.
Unless I have been too presumptuous.
No, it's fine. I'm fine.
Is there anything I can do to help?
I don't know if there's anything that needs to be helped.
It is not a standard medical procedure. However, a mind melt could relieve some of the psychological pain from the nightmare. Perhaps ease some of the trauma.
Maybe another time.
Of course. I will take my leave. I walk out.
And Kalani just puts her forehead in her hand after he leaves.
All right, I guess that's where we'll leave that scene. How long do you stay up before the morning? Before you get back to bed?
She does not sleep again
Okay.
that night.
So just give me a fitness command roll.
Okay. Oh yeah, my dump stats.
Difficulty 2.
One success.
All right. So you are visibly tired. It doesn't. As for mechanics, any check you will do will have any mental check, any check that requires any kind of mental concentration, will be at will have a complication range extended by 2.
Okay.
But
Daz, I'd like to extend the scene a little bit further, just so that when Safan gets back to when I get back to my quarters, I find I'm not able to meditate. Like I'm not able to focus.
Yeah. Yeah, you find yourself continually being drawn back to Jar mentally. You're unable to focus on your own meditation, and maybe it's just your worry, your concern, or maybe there's something more you're not really able to tell at this moment, but it's just your mind just keeps wandering back to Jar and disrupts your concentration. I will make you do the same fitness command check then.
Okay.
Difficulty 2.
All right. No focus applies. 2 successes.
Yeah, so you were able, even though you can't seem to find stability, you are able to keep your mind active enough that you don't let it fall into a more dulled sleep. deprived state. You're able to keep yourself controlled enough that, awake enough, that you were able to function as normal.
Famous Vulcan stamina.
As everyone else, Lasan is noticeably tired during the work. Just minor loss of concentration. Nothing major, but sometimes she has to be remembered of something or reminded of something or what have you. But she's making these tiny little mistakes that she wouldn't normally.
Kalani, as you mean, or
Kalani, sorry.
I was like, me? What?
So-
What happened with me?
Sorry, Steph, but Kalani, not Lasan, is making these just minor small things.
Yeah, no brain swapping today, I assume.
No, that was completely my mistake. I'm sorry.
no worries.
As far as everything else goes, the Pelsk family seem to have solidified a bit things, and there is a decision made. They will go Bajoran, but perhaps, Palace is asking you. Are you all right? Something seems to be off today. As he comes in and looks at you, Ja, to tell you what has been decided.
I
So
just
I
said. God.
I can start cosmetic surgery whenever you're ready.
Well,
He's coming out of this with like one ear.
all right. Well,
She's giving him back his old nose.
okay, I'm going to do a roll for him. That is, I need to do another roll for him.
For the other D20.
Okay, so he looks like you. Are you alright? You seem to be a bit. I don't know how to put it, but out of focus.
I had trouble sleeping last night, but I'm fine.
Well, I have placed my trust in you so far. I will do so again if you're sure you're ready.
It's not a complicated procedure.
Okay, so
I
it
just have
is.
to make your nose crinkly.
It will be a difficulty 2 procedure, but you will be assisted by the ship. I will allow computers medicine.
Journey, you want to get that one?
I can. Yeah. It was sorry,
Computer's
what
medicine.
was computer's medicine? All right.
So difficulty 2
Is the
check.
complication okay? Is the complication range 2 or 3?
It's 3.
Okay.
If
I'm
you
gonna
wanna-
take a momentum.
Yep.
We're cautious. Great. I'm gonna re-roll that.
Oh shit!
All right.
So
So
Pellis is dead.
You have a determination.
No,
Did
well,
I
the
do,
ship-
and
the
I'm
ship
going to
roll?
burn it to re-roll it.
Yeah, I mean, she did get one success, so the ship can still roll.
yeah.
But I'm gonna burn my determination.
Okay. So
So if you
What-
do your determination, you can re-roll both those zeros.
Yeah. But the value that applies is challenges are just opportunities in disguise.
All right. Okay,
There
so
we go.
you get
Well,
two.
that's more like it.
You get your momentum and one more back as you for a moment during the operation you lose focus as you're dealing with Pelsa's face, but you shake yourself out of it. You refocus and take a break and then go back into it, and everything goes actually
Those
rather
nose
well.
ridges are more complicated than they look.
She saw a bored implant erupt out of his face in mid-surgery,
No,
like a
no.
visual hallucination.
She was using the sander on his ridges, and it slipped.
I kind of think the Borg one's kind of applicable, though.
Yeah, I'm going to say the Borg is applicable. You lose focus, and then you shake yourself, and then a Borg implant sort of bursts up out of his forehead, and that shakes you a bit and step back, but you blink your eyes, you close it off, and this you remind yourself that was a dream, that's not real. And you open your eyes again and it's gone. You're able to continue on without any overall impact to the surgery, and actually as you run the dermal regenerator over to finish up, you're actually rather impressed by the work. He looks like a Bajoran.
I'm even going to take the liberty of replicating a few different earring designs for him to choose from.
Well, you'd probably stick with the one that used to be his family's. At least the person we're trying to the identity we're stealing in this case.
There is actually no records from this guy's about the specific earring design. It wasn't in any. The Cardassians didn't think it important enough to particularly note the exact earring design, and there aren't any particular photo, any like holographic images of him particularly. So there is nothing really in the records to compare against. So you're able to pick a design, and once he's woken up, Pals looks in the mirror, and you rival some of the Tal Shiar's operations, Doctor. Very well done.
I'll take that as high praise.
And he goes, this is not something that I generally say, Doctor, but I am intensely grateful for all the assistance you and the Valkyrie have provided. Without your intervention and the compassion you've shown, I would not be alive, and my family wouldn't have a chance at a new life. I just want to know that I appreciate what you've done, what you have done, and if there is anything that I can do for you or the ship, I am at your disposal.
Don't need to thank us. Sounds trite, but it's the right thing to do.
He smiles and spoken like a true Starfleet officer.
I suppose so.
And he gets up from the bio bed and examines over the earring designs and picks picks ones out. There's some of the finer details. There's this one that has like 5 little bars, small intricate bars in the design, and he picks that as a physical embodiment, a reminder that of him and his family. Even though he's not going to be that far away, he is going to be connected, even in his Bajoran identity, to them through that. And with that, he makes his leave and returns back to his room. The rest of the day is uneventful. Sleep. It's time to sleep once more. It's a bit hard to sleep to find rest, since for you, Dr. Jar, as you fear the dreams coming once again, but eventually you drift off, and mostly there are no dreams, but you can't shake. You can't shake what you saw. You can't shake the feeling behind it. That's even when you wake up, you still have those flashes of memory from the dream and from the Borg incident, and that doesn't seem to be going away or getting any better.
She's just gonna. She's gonna have to think about things. Because that's what she does. She thinks. She overthinks.
Okay, but she does get enough sleep that she doesn't have the penalty anymore. Safan, you still get a low level feeling of unease, but nothing like the spike of anxiety that you felt when she had the nightmare.
Yeah. If I may, though, I'm going to say that Safan is having a lot of trouble with the temperature in the room. It is too hot, and then it's too cold, and it just won't even itself out. And after a few minutes of trying to adjust the controls, Safan just smashes the entire console.
And it's still, even then, it's still sort of, even though it's set at the same temperature, it feels warmer than it feels colder. Like, logically it doesn't make sense, but it's still what you feel, and it's just sort of confusing to you. But
and enraging, like it shouldn't be, but holy shit, Safan's pissed.
Even through that, it's just like Dr. Jar. It takes you, like, you try and deal with it, but eventually you're just exhausted and fall asleep. And maybe you wake up a bit later than you usually do, but you find yourself, even with as rough a time going to sleep, you do feel at least more refreshed than you were the previous night. As you go, the next day is just also like unremarkable. Nothing particular happens. You are getting close It's 2 days now from Delphi. My voice is going. Do I
Although
need...
I'm going to say that the next time Kalani goes to sleep, she's going to go to Stefan's quarters.
Okay, so Jean activates the bell at your quarters, Stefan.
Come in.
Kalani comes in. I hope I'm not disturbing you.
And the room is kind of ransacked. And the temperature console's been smashed to hell. Stefan looks around and says, Kalani, hope you will forgive the state of my quarters.
I was going to come to you for help, but seems like you need some yourself.
The environmental controls in these quarters are clearly defective. And just gritting through his teeth.
Hey. Well, I mean, they are now. She gestures to the broken console on the wall.
And Stefan just kind of glowers. How read up is Dr. Jar on Vulcan physiology and biology?
She has a xenobiology focus, so...
Yeah, I'm going to assume that she knows pretty well the main Federation species very well. Human, Vulcan, Andorian, Tellarite.
Daz, can we have Jar do either an insight or a recent medicine roll to see if she recognizes what's going on here?
Do an insight. This just a difficulty one.
Okay. Wow. I'm doing really well.
So you
Although, did it roll? Yeah.
Kind of makes sense, though.
You are more focused on your issues than really paying attention to Stefan at this moment. So you don't really pick up what is. You don't really even think about what is possibly affecting Stefan. You just need help and Stefan is the obvious one for you to go to.
Are you okay?
No, my emotional control seems to be somewhat compromised.
Well, we can take you to sickbay.
I don't want to go to sickbay. Doctor, and his voice is kind of husky. He says, I just need to be with you.
So give me another insight medicine check on this.
Okay.
Because this is okay. This is so far
she
out
nailed it
of
that time.
This is
And then her eyes suddenly bug out, and she goes, "Oh."
yeah. This is so far out of Stefan's usual, like, seeing. Well, there is a problem. I need to deal with it by going to sick bay. That there is something deeper going on here, and you realize that. Hang on. That's what I'm feeling. And you realize that your emotions, your feelings are bleeding over into Safan. And for that, you get 2 momentum.
Perhaps that mind meld might be a good idea after all.
But before we get to that, there is a ship-wide alert. Some detection. The night crew have detected once again a temporal anomaly, and that's where we're gonna have to leave it for tonight.
Night crew.
God. Damn it!